Hello everyone, this is Barb Reed, the Wexford Stamper, and welcome to another Tuesday evening with the Wexford Stamper. Hope everyone is doing well this evening. What a gorgeous day we had today. Hello everyone. And you don't want to hear me twice, that would be too much to ask. We'll take a little bit here and watch for people to come in. Hello Renee, I see you. Happy Tuesday. Hope we can get some more friends to join us. But hey, if we don't, hey, it's just you and me, Renee, right? All right, let's talk a little bit about some upcoming events and some other things I want to share with you. We'll be doing our card momentarily, and I will talk a little more about that. Most of you should have gotten your mini catalog. This I sent out to all of my customers. I'm hoping if you did not get a mini catalog, please let me know and I will get one to you right away. Sometimes I forget and a couple might slip through the cracks. So the mini catalog goes live in July. So you want to have this so you can start perusing. It has amazing, amazing Christmas items. And as always, they just knock it out of the park with their beautiful designer series paper. So let me know if you need a catalog. And if you don't have your annual catalog yet, which just came out last month, we've been kind of bombarded with catalogs here. Please contact me if you don't have another demonstrator of your own. I'd love to send you an annual catalog as well. So that is the catalog news. Also, speaking about the beautiful designer series paper, hey Mary Herschel, I'm going to be having a holiday paper share, and this is a little different than I've done in past years. Usually when I get a new mini catalog, I include all the paper in the catalog into the share. But this year I've decided to focus on Christmas. So there are 6 new papers and 1 new specialty paper that is available in the new mini starting in July. So if you would buy a paper share, the holiday paper share, you would get a 6x6 piece of every sheet of designer series paper in these packs. So that is going to be a total of 72 pieces of designer series paper, and that's $25. So that's a reasonable price. Hey Joanne, welcome. I will send out the first set of shares will be processed on the 5th. So the first group of people that have contacted me and asking for a share, that order will go in on the 5th. And then any more that come in after that will go later. So if you want to get in right on the 5th, please let me know. Of course, the share will come in a lovely handmade box, and you will really enjoy it, and it will give you lots and lots of great paper when it comes to holiday card making. So think about that if that's something you'd like. And also, I have my July product kit ready to go for next month. This is going to use the Tea Boutique suite, and we are going to be making some really cute fun fold cards with belly bands. And those 4 that you see in the picture are the 4 designs we're going to be making, and you will make 3 of each design. So a total of 12 designs, and you will get these very cool printed envelopes that coordinate with these cards in your kit as well, along with all the dies and everything you need to make them. So if you're interested in the Tea Boutique card kit, please let me know. We will be having the in-class session on Friday, July 29th. And you can always order a to-go kit, and you'll get a to-go kit that will include everything that the in-person people get, and then I will send you a link for a video so that you can see just exactly how I put everything together. So those are my announcements for today. One more. Oops. I have one more announcement. I will be at Handmade at the Hive. The Hive is a coffee shop over in Dover, and she has an event on July 9th, and I will have a booth there with my handmade items. I will have some cards and 3D items, but I'm also going to have some of my new sewn items. Any of you have talked to me or seen any of my posts know that I am making some sewing projects now that I'm really enjoying. Let me show you some of the new items that will be coming in. Many of you saw the old ones, but let me show you some of the new ones. Okay, now we've already had these. These are the reusable snack bags. Okay, the only thing different here is that I'm using some cork fabric on the bottom of these. I'm adding some different types of fabric. So this is, finished this one just today. This is a reusable snack bag, and it's reusable because the inside is it's called pool fabric, and it is food safe, and then you can just pull out the inside, use soap and water and clean it up, and then you can use it as a snack bag over and over again. So this is the size that I had at my first event, and that was it was the beginning of this month. Now I'm going to introduce a mini. This is the mini snack bag, and this one uses the cork as well. And then this one is just fabric. So I'm going to have all different kinds of designs. Some will have the cork at the bottom, some won't. But this is a mini, so the large is 15, and then these are 10. And I'll have loads of loads to look at and choose. And then another new item I have is this little hand sanitizer holder. It's a little pouch that has a little doohickey. That's the proper term, I'm sure, doohickey. And this can latch onto your purse or onto your backpack. And then you open it here. This has a magnetic closure and room for a little hand sanitizer in there. You could put lipsticks in there. You could put gum. You could put all different kinds of things. But I am putting, there will be a hand sanitizer in each one. These are 10. Okay, really cute. I'm going to have some cute designs like these little monkeys. And I'm also going to have some florals, all different kinds. So those that's a new item that will be at my event on the 9th of July. So I'll keep you updated on all that information. If you're interested, you can always message me. All right, well, let's go ahead and get down to business here today. We are going to be using the Butterfly Kisses suite again today. We used that before. Love this suite here. This picture shows all the elements of the suite. It's got gorgeous 6x6 paper, and it has the coordinating dies that coordinate to the photopolymer stamps, and we're going to be using that this evening. And we're going to also use those cute little flower gems. Those are so cute, and they're perfectly coordinating with the colors in the designer series paper. Of course, that's the way Stampin' Up! Does it. So we're going to be using that this evening. So, and as always, you'll be able to, after the conclusion of the Facebook Live, you're going to be able to get a downloadable PDF with all the dimensions, all the products that I use in this project this evening. Alrighty? Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. The type of fun fold card we're making this evening is called a flip-flop card. And the reason it's called that is because it flips and flops. So you're going to close on the left side and then close over on the right, and that holds your card together. All right? Last week we did an easel card. Tonight we're going to do a flip-flop card. All right, let's go ahead and put our card base together first, because that's really the most important part of the card, because you can use this design using any suite or stamp set or designer series paper that you may have. All right, let's go ahead and put that over there. Let's talk first about our card base. Our card base is going to look a little different because of the dimensions, but our card base is going to be cut at 6.5 by 5.5, and then it's going to be scored at 4 1/4. All right, so let me go ahead and fold that over. Okay, you can see kind of exactly how the card is going to come together. Okay, this is going to be that left-hand panel. All right, so let's go ahead, and while we have this here, we're going to add some of the designer series paper before we put the flop part. This is the flip part. All right, we're going to first need a piece of coordinating cardstock. This piece is cut at 2 inches by 5 1/4, and that's going to go right here on our flip-flop part. All right, let's go ahead and get out my Tombow. And I'm going to just put a little Tombow on here. And of course, you can decide which of the beautiful designer series paper patterns you want. So really can use any. There's no bad choice in this bunch. All right, so that is all done. Then the next piece we're going to put on is the designer series paper piece that's going to be on the inside. And this is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue on here and place that down. Okay, so we got our flip part done. So let's work on our flop. Okay, the flop part has 2 pieces, and one of it is like a mini card. I call it a mini card in my directions. And this is cut at 4 inches by 6 inches and scored at 3. So you're kind of making a mini card. All right, but what's different about this mini card is it's going to open with the hinge on the right-hand side. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our paper on there. Okay, first we're going to take our designer series paper here, and this is going to go on our front of our mini card, and it's cut at 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. And you can just pick a coordinating piece. It all goes together, and I'm going to go ahead and put that right here, remembering that we're going to have the hinge on the right-hand side. Okay, now this is the piece for the inside of the card. So I'm just going to go ahead, that's the exact same size as the outside piece, but this is going to be the part that we're going to put our sentiment on. Now, we usually put it on this side when we do a sentiment for a card, but we're going to put it on the opposite side because this is a crazy fun fold card. All right, so there is the flop part done. Now we are going to bring in the flip and the flop. Okay, now what we want to do here is we want to position the mini card right here in the center of the inside panel here. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to put some glue on the back panel, remembering that we want to make sure we keep the hinge of the mini card on the right-hand side. And we're going to go ahead and put it down and center it so that we can see equal amount of the pretty floral designer series paper around. Then we're going to open it back up and we're going to put the flip in, and then this goes on top. So there is our flip flop. Flip flop. Pretty easy, huh? Isn't that so cool? Just such a nice and unique design for a card. All right, so now all we need to do is make our embellishment for the front of our card. So let's go ahead and do some stamping. All right, let's bring in some scrap paper. This is just basic white, and we're going to grab some of our amazing new in colors. This is Parakeet Party, very much like our old green that we used to love, and I can't think of the name right now. Fresh Freesia is another one. That's from our last In Colors, but we still love it. And then the oldie but goodie Crushed Curry. Granny Apple Green, that's the one I was thinking of, Granny Apple Green. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring those down here, and we're gonna go ahead and stamp actually 4 images, but we're gonna do the butterfly first. So let's bring in the butterfly body stamp here, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and use the Fresh Freesia and stamp it right here on the left-hand side of my scrap paper. Then I'm gonna bring in another one of the wings. This is actually one of the lower set of wings, although it could be an upper as well. And I'm gonna put that right beside my body. And then the final one is going to be the polka dots. And we'll put those right here. All right, so those are our 3 pieces of our butterfly. Let me go ahead and move these ink pads out of the way so I don't put my elbow in them. Been known to do that. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and cut them out. And today I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I cut them out rather than just magically showing you how they are cut out. But here are the die cuts for this set. And let me show you, I made this little guide here. These are all the different shapes that our die cuts can cut out. Look at all those things you can make. You can layer some of these if you use different colored cardstock or different colored designer series paper. And then you have these 2 cute little butterflies here at the end that are full butterflies, but it just gives you so many options with this. And I just really love this set. I know the first time I saw it in the catalog, I'm like, oh dear, I have some butterfly sets, but this one has really won me over. Okay, so we're gonna need to use 2 of the wing dies, and then we are going to use the large butterfly body die. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and move the rest of these over here. I'm gonna go ahead and bring in my cut and emboss machine. Okay, look at this, ladies. Brand new cutting pads. I know, they're not gonna look like this for long, but I'm just enjoying them. All right, now, when I'm doing some cutting with multiple dies at the same time, I do use a product called Post-it tape. This allows me to do a bunch at one time and not worry about them falling and sliding and shifting. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring in first the little body here. No, this is the larger body. And then I'm just going to take a piece of the Post-it note tape and just put it right over there so it can't come off. All right, do the same thing here. This is the lower part. And this, it comes right off just like tape. You can get this on Amazon or at your local office supply store. And then one more. So this allows me to get more die cutting done at one time without having to worry about these intricate dies slipping and sliding. All right, so there we go. There are the 3 pieces ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and put my top and then take her on through. Crunchity crunch. That's okay, it's supposed to crunch like that. Okay, and I'm going to move my die cutter here. And then I can remove each of these pieces. And I really do, for ones that I use frequently, you can just leave the paper on it. You can leave your Post-it tape right on it and just put it back with the others and just leave the tape on it. So it can use it over and over again, but it allows you to cut them out and not have no shifting and have a perfect looking butterfly. Okay, there we go. There are our 3 pieces. One more thing to stamp here before we are done. All right, last thing we're gonna stamp is our sentiment. Okay, and it is all the love. And I'm going to go ahead and bring in, this is the Starry Sky, another new in color. I'm just gonna stamp it here on the same scrap paper. And then I'm going to bring in the So Lovely die. Ooh, I think it's, I can't think of the name. I think it's So Lovely die. Oh, darn. Wait, let me get my book. I was practicing and trying to memorize and it didn't go well. I forgot. Okay, let me get to my punches here. Label Me Fancy. This is on page 153. The Label Me Fancy and the Label Me Lovely were in a suite a couple of catalogs ago, and these 2 are still in. So it's the Label Me Fancy is the one we're using this evening. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just cut a little bit of this off here. I'm going to bring in my punch. Center it as best I can. Doesn't that look like that punch was made just for this sentiment? All right. Now we are getting close to being finished. Let's bring in our card base. And the last thing I added was a piece of vellum. Okay, that is not necessary, but I just love the way that it kind of helped the butterflies stand out a little bit. Okay. So let's go ahead, and what I did here is I took some glue and I put it in places that I knew were going to be covered by the butterfly and by the sentiment. Okay, because you know if you put dry adhesive and even wet adhesive sometime, you can see it through your vellum. But if you think about where your pieces are going to go, then you can be sure that they'll be covered. All right, let's go ahead and make our butterfly. Here's our top wings and our bottom. And I'm gonna go ahead and put some Tombow right on the back of the little body. Come on. There we go. Okay. I'm going to butt these up against each other and then lay the body right over top and let that dry a little bit. Okay, let's go ahead and grab some dimensionals. 2 dimensionals for on our sentiment. I'm going to put those on the back. The only caution I have with putting this on is that you want to make sure that you don't put it too far over to the right, that it's over the hinge, because then you won't be able to open your card. Okay, so you want to make sure you place it at the bottom right hand, but you don't want it to overlap that hinge, or you're not going to be able to open your card and you'll be disappointed. All right, so let's go ahead and let's put our butterfly on. Going to use 2 dimensionals again, right on the back, and we're going to put him up by the top and kind of off to the left like that. Okay, and there is our card. Very cute, huh? Now let's put on some finishing touches. I'm going to grab my pick tool and the lovely, lovely Fun Flower Rosin Shapes. These come in all the colors that you need for this card suite. We've got the new Parakeet Party, Starry Sky. We've got Fresh Freesia, Crushed Curry, and Calypso Coral. So they're perfect. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add some to my card. Let's see. I think I'm going to go with, oh, this is the hard part, deciding. Okay, I'm going to do one Fresh Freesia. I'm going to put that one over here. Let's see, one Crushed Curry. It's just so hard to decide. Let's put that one here. Oops, jumped off my thing. There. And then let's do, lastly, let's grab a Starry Night. Starry Sky. Starry Night is the painting. All right, and I'm going to put that one over here on the cardstock portion there. All right, so there you have it. Look how easy it is to make a flip-flop fun fold card. And these are so bright and colorful, and they'll be a perfect addition to all the cards that you like to give out in the summer. So thank you for joining me tonight. It's such a lovely evening. Get out there and enjoy a little bit more of the sunshine. I will see you after the 4th of July. I can't believe it. It's coming already. So I will see you on the Tuesday next week. So have a wonderful holiday weekend and try to get some crafting in if you have time. And I will see you next week with another fun project using the Butterfly Kisses Suite. Take care. Thanks for joining me. Bye now.